All right, here we go. We're going to get started, and you're going to start building your first video in a video editing program. Notice that none of this is going to involve filming at this point. We're not pulling out a cell phone and videoing anything, and you're going to build the entire video using the tools here. And something that I forgot to say in the first video, but I wanted to mention is that you know, I mentioned that video editing is a career and you can get paid money. You could literally get paid money today, even as a kid, because there are people who would like to have someone like you that has that skill, maybe to make videos for their social media, for their business, for their store, or whatever. Because if you get good at this, it does have value. But I did mention that it's an art form to you. And what one thing is, you know how famous people like actors and actresses get recognized and they win like an Academy Award as the best actor of the year. The same is true of editors. That is one of the Academy Awards. So if you're really good at this and you excel at this particular art form, you might be up there with some of the most famous people in the world receiving an Oscar award, an Academy Award, or whatever. So just know that this is a well-respected and very important skill. So hopefully hopefully you enjoy it, but also if you get good at it, you never know, you might become famous one day. Okay, let's start making your first video. We're going to do a simple thing where you're going to insert some text about you. We're going to keep it really simple. So what you're going to do is over here in this area where you can pick from the different things, you're going to click on text. There's lots of other things, audio, images, videos. Don't click on those now. For now, we're going to focus on this one that says text. Right here where it says titles, I want to click see all. Boom. And I want you to scroll down and I want you to find, there's one in particular that I want you to find. It's this one. It says 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's white, white, green, white. You're going to drag that and put it down at the beginning of your video. And when you press play, you can see your background is doing a little bit of motion and your text that you just dragged in, it has its own little motion. We don't need to change the size of it. If you had a reason to, you can make it shorter a little bit. You can make it longer a little bit. We'll just leave it however it was when it first came in, which looks like it's about 7 seconds. By the way, did you see what I just did? I dragged it and then I changed my mind. Instead of trying to bring it back, don't forget, you always have the magic undo button. Most programs have a little undo button. It's an arrow that kind of looks backwards and it undoes whatever your last step was. Boom. That brings me back to the original time that this particular animation is set to. Now, we're going to change what this animation says. You're going to double click it. 1, 2. That's 2 clicks. Click, click. That's a double click. That opens up this. And here's what we're going to make it. I want you to click on this first one that says 1. That's this part right here. And you're going to say, just come up here and just type in hello. This particular animation is not case sensitive. It's going to be all caps no matter what. So don't worry about that. Then the second one, I want you to click on where it says 2. You're going to change that to my name is. So you're saying hello, my name is. Then you're going to click on this. And you're going to say your first name. Put your actual first name. I'm going to put mine. That's not your name. Don't you put that. And then down here, you're going to put your last name. Don't put my last name. Put your last name. Okay, and then when you're done, you hit done. And you can go backwards and you can press play. And you can see what your video looks like so far. Hello, my name is. Boom, boom. Notice that the time is still moving and that stuff goes away. And that's as much as you've done so far. So now you're starting to see how you have a timeline and how you can control and manipulate it. If you say to yourself, well, that's 7 seconds. Maybe I want it to last shorter. Well, you can squeeze. It's an animation, so it can't go shorter than whatever that is. But let's watch that. Boom, I press play. It comes up faster. It disappears a little faster. And you can drag it out. If you wanted to make it really long, that would be boring. If it went for 17 seconds, that would be way too long, right? Look at this. My name's up there. It's still up there. It's still up there. My audience is watching this, okay? And I want to point this out. So when you're making a video, what you're really doing is you're thinking about how it will look to your audience. That's the most important thing you're doing when you make a video. You don't want your audience to have too little time to read it. You don't want them to have too much time to read it. So what's the right amount of time? That's the art form. That's what you're doing in this video. You need to decide how long should it be up there. And there is a rule of thumb. The rule of thumb is you should be able to read it really fast twice. If you can't read it really fast twice, it's not up there long enough. So look, I chopped it down to 4 seconds. Let's see if I can read it twice really fast. Hello, my name is Ted Mallon. Hello, my name is Ted. That didn't stay up there long enough. So I'm going to drag it out. I'm going to bring it back to about 7 seconds. Now when I press play, in your mind you're thinking, hello, my name is whatever your name is. Hello, my name is whatever your name is. Then it goes away. That's about right. Any longer than that would be too much for the brain. If somebody was watching it for 17 seconds, they would get bored. They wouldn't watch your video anymore. If it was too fast that they couldn't read it, they wouldn't read your message. So that's what you're doing when you do video editing. You're making decisions about when it should be there, how long it should be there for, and so forth. So that is the main thing that I want you to do. There's other things that you can do. Watch it. Now, if I wanted to change this, I can give a double click. 1, 2, right? By the way, and then that opens up this stuff where you can look at and change it. There's another way. If you click on it, so it has this little outline, you can also hit this edit. That's the same thing as the double click that I was doing. And that opens up this stuff. And that's where you would change things like the color. Like if you didn't like the green, you might say, I want it to be a darker green, or I want it to be red, or whatever. Again, in this project, I don't want you spending a whole lot of time doing that. I want you to spend more time focused on, okay, I don't want you spending time playing around with the different colors and which fonts you want. That's for the second project that you're going to do probably in a week and a half or so. But for now, I just want you to see the basics of how you can go in and change things. Obviously, there's a whole bunch of different texts in here. Some of them have animations that they say motion. Some of them are just they are just stay still. That means they don't have any kind of motion or animation to them. And you might need that depending on what it is you're trying to do in your video, but you have the idea. So now you know how to add a background, how to stretch it. You know how to insert some words and put it on top of whatever video. This background, by the way, is just a video. To call it a background just means it's something that you would put behind you in a video. But it is just a video like any other video. That could be a scene, or it could be just some bubbles like it happens to be. But you get the idea, so you are ready to move on to the next step in this project.